Hey, I'm Kev, welcome back to MXGP3 and the third round of the season as we're going to Europe for the first time and the Netherlands for a sandy surface as well. And it is to Valkenswaard. And a wet Netherlands as well. Look at all the rain. We just had last time in Thailand a wet track with dry weather. Now we're getting the full experience. It looks like perhaps not heavy rain, intermittent rain. Look at that, it's dry at the end of the track. So here we are in Holland, or the Netherlands, I should say. Holland's just a region, isn't it? And the Netherlands, and the fast Valkenswaard track. Almost said Charizard, didn't I? I know, I'm totally butchering another name again, aren't I? But as you've seen, it's raining. And here we go. We've got the turn of the flares as well. Of the respite in Thailand. And this track was very kind to us. MXGP3 will be kind to the hammer as well. He lost his championship lead after a visit to Thailand, not getting the top results that he wanted, not battling for a podium. But I'm sure that's going to return this time as we got past the rider we're using as a guide. Keeping the middle line. It looks so many lines you can use around this track, so wide. And sandy surface as well was a favourite in MXGP2, where you can really slide the bike, tires can really dig in, and particularly with the wet mud here, wet surface, I'm sure it will as well. It's the best time so far, 1 minute 50. But there we go, we can see the finish right in front. And look at that high scrub. And a 1 minute 44.2. The hammer has laid it down once again in qualifying. And it looks like he's going to take pole by a country mile. With that red plate. Still got it. As he qualified on 6 seconds. Held the Frenchman once again in second. He's very used to that position, isn't he? So far this season. Hurlings in third. Siwa in fourth. Then the Brit in fifth, ahead of the TM rider in sixth, coming in seventh, Fernandez eighth, Tonkov in ninth, and Johannes down in 10th on the KTM. Disappointing from the Latvian. But we definitely earned some reputation credits from that run. But can we carry on this form in the race, which we failed to do in Thailand? Look at that rain ability going through the roof. As we are lined up, preparing for this race. Can we grab back the championship leaders? Oh, Osland's now getting in the camera frame there. As we rev up, get the clutch ready for this 5-lap race. We're underway. Oh, I wasn't in first gear. Rookie mistake. We definitely are last heading into the first corner. And oh, we get into the mid-pack. We're going to be rubbing elbows with lots of riders here. As Covington had the whole shot. Can't believe I saw that right. Looks like we're being pushed right here. As we battle our way back up into the top 10. It's almost like that bad start never happened now. You get a little scrub going. Oh, too low though, too low. God damn it. I like my shiny new toy too much there. As once again we're down due to a scrub going badly. There's definitely an acquired skill. Let's look at this, so many mounds, so much advantage. So the hill man, he likes his hills, he likes his bumpy surfaces. Hill man in name, hill man in nature. I'm back into the top 10 already. After a shocking start, a fall. Getting a scrub. Oh, managed to put it back round just in time. Already looking at a top 5 here. And a very tight line there into that corner. As you can see, compromised us. But here we go, into the final corner, down to 4. Accelerate. Not the final corner, I thought it was the final corner. It's like it is. Oh, we're pushing the Swiss Rider wide again. That was the final corner. Oh, that's not going right. Oh, just about holds on. That's a save and a half. And we somehow hold on to 5th. So here we go, very wide. Behind us is the gates where we started. There's Covington, the American. Super start to this race. Lean forward over that jump. Magnificent jump, and oh, we're battling for a podium. Hadn't said that for a while. We take 3rd place, and oh, we're taking a very tight line now. I thought I was going to clip the advertising order. Remember, do not scrub over that jump. Definitely learned that from the first lap. Now we're going downhill. Oh, fantastic corner there. Get into that groove. Oh, we've got some clapping. Some people are very happy that the Hillman has now taken the lead on the 2nd lap. And will he just ride away from the opposition? We will see. As oh, we're getting some slide on as well. Loving this wet surface with this sandy surface. Lots of surface that the Hammer likes going on here. There's bank corner. Can go a bit wider there. Okay, much more speed, a better line than on the previous lap. Can even take that corner flat out. Probably should have scrubbed over that jump. There you go. Now we're approaching the final corner, down to 4th. Oh, just about staying in the groove. Can definitely scrub over this. Oh, not quite. But again, after the previous lap, do we really want to? We go flat out through that chicane. Then into a hairpin. Then look at this wide open surface on this 3rd lap. Flat out through this chicane. Oh, skidding over the top to the inside of the corner. And again, another tight corner there. Totally took way too much speed into it. But it's worked out fine as marshals get someone in control of that flare. You can see so muddy the rider as well. This race is only the 3rd lap. He's literally going to be a pile of mud by the end of this race. So getting into that groove now. I do love this circuit. So much fast speed, as you can see. Barely lifting in some of the corners. And then we have these corners which are a bit tighter but banked and take so many lines. Just love this track. Netherlands being kind once again, as that's got another mini scrub, I would say. And then take the high line, use that banking, come off that corner pretty nicely. You know, lifting slightly on the exit. There's a banana corner there. Down to the final corner, lift, down to 4th, stay in that groove, up to 5th, lean forward, then scrub. Oh no, going wide again. Oh, he couldn't nail it this time, he's down. Hillman. And a minor thing I've noticed as well, you get reset properly on the track in this game rather than MXGP3, when a couple of tracks is a bit questionable where you started again. So yeah, minor thing, but good to see it's been fixed for this game. There we are on the 4th lap, in 1st. That's a much better entrance into that chicane. And despite a couple of falls, a poor start, the Hillman is ruled in the Netherlands. And there is the Netherlands flag on the outside and a couple of Italian flags. Of course, motorcourse very popular. With them, we've got the Slovenian flag as well for the reigning MXGP champion. Let's go over these jumps. Probably got to adjust the suspension for this bike if I'm actually thinking of setup changes. You can see a bit rough over the surface. That back end lifting up. But it's not hindering us too much here in this race. So now go full pelt, over 50 miles per hour. This is wide hairpin. And then into the penultimate corner, flat out. Lean forward over that jump. Got a bit wide, down to third this time, was a bit wider, turned in a bit too late there. Probably at the apex. There you go, that's the scrub, that's how you're meant to do it. As you go on to the final lap of the race. And it definitely is variable from track to track which temperature I have to choose. Maybe for Qatar and here, needs to be realistic next time. Like Thailand hard is definitely my level. So once again, Thailand being a very difficult track to get on top of, just like in MXGP3. So do a little scrub at that time. Did it in time, even though that scrub didn't really help because, as you saw, maybe go a bit wide into the flying right-hander. They go wide open in service here. We're going to hear the crowd cheering like a hell. It's all round this track here and the clapping, individual clapping as well. That's pretty nice touch there for the atmosphere. In that variable levels of crowd noise. Just so alive, these tracks. The atmosphere. Fantastic job for Milestone on that aspect. Look at that, even people waving flags. We really are up in their game with the crowd. Look at that. Even though the flag animations are a bit wank. Or whack, I mean, not wank. They're just slightly off, it looks like, frame rate rise compared to everything else. But, as I said, top marks for effort once again for Milestone. And as I said, in general, this game a big step over MXGP2, as that's how you finish. That's the hammer way of finishing. Another race victory. As he's ahead of Covington on the Husqvarna in second. American beating his teammate by just 0.06 of a second. The Brit in third. For the first time this season, the Frenchman is not second. He's down in fourth. Got Bogues in fifth, ahead of his teammate Herdins in sixth. Then Bernardini in seventh. Jonas eighth. Tonkov ninth. And Siva in 10th, ahead of the Swede. So a fantastic result in the first race in the Netherlands. But can we take another second race victory and make it an overalls? Look at that rain ability, trying to catch up to the rest. So we're looking to get a much better start than we did last time. I've had shocking starts for most races this season. Really got to get used to this clutch control start, which I didn't really do in MXGP2. Again, a bit slow on the release, but not as bad as the first race. We're at least in the pack. Battling for a top 10 as Herdins gets a whole shot on home turf. And oh, looking around the outside. Oh. Make that third, is it? No, fourth. Has got Bogues down our inside. But fantastic. Oh, rest of the first lap once again after that start. But I might keep the home crowd happy this time around. And let Herdins lead, or not. Or not. The hammer doesn't care what enemies he makes on his way to the top. As long as he's the man on top. So they're not even braking into that right-hander because you can just use that natural banking and incline. Get yourself into the groove there. To go almost to the end of this first lap, it might be another long 5-lap race of loneliness. As you see the Dutch flag waving on our inside there. Into the penultimate corner. Bit wide, having to let up on the power on the exit. Don't want to be doing that much as well. That flag animation was a bit out of control. And the inside's distracting me going into the final corner. I see your gimmick here, game, trying to distract me with your flag animations. So we go, nice scrub, a bit high. But I wanted to be safe on the landing. It's on this second lap. It's now going to be the Hillman show, I think, once again. I'm definitely going to keep track of every circuit and how I perform on them in this MX2 season and see which tracks I should have on realistic and which tracks I should have on hard. So far Qatar on realistic, Thailand on hard, and I think this place will be on realistic. If we come here again with MX2 or MXGP next season. So we go downhill, no braking, get it down to third, into the apex. That was so much smoother and better than I ever did in the first race. Drop it down to fourth, and then going downhill, as I said, just drop it down to third. Not as good that time around as the first lap. You can see no real braking needs to happen into those corners, especially with this wet surface as well, helping to stop the bike. You know, if it was dry, it might be a bit of a different story, but the wet surface really does help slow the bike down, it feels like. Now it'd be interesting to see if that's a difference as well when we come here next time, if I can ride the same way in a couple of corners, as I said, with just the engine braking, no other than actual braking. It almost went into that KTM sign. That's an endorsement and a half. There's clip the inside bank. Oh, I hope that spectator's fine. Or ambulance man. Paramedic, not ambulance man. I do know English, alright? It's got Husqvarna signs as well around this track. What's going on here? Got KTM and Husqvarna around here. It's not a conflict. It's not like you see Shell or Petronas around the same track sponsoring it. You do see it on cars, occasionally, but as we're around halfway through this race, I think I've just lost all sense, I think. It's nice waving French flag on the inside, so maybe when they're vertical they're a bit better, the animations, rather than waving side to side. As I'm seeing. And yeah, I have run out of things to talk as I'm talking about flag animations once again, aren't I? At the start of the season, about as expected, I would think. As I said, Qatar was pretty good in MXGP2, despite the lack of results. Again, Thailand, difficult as... Osland is down again. That's a Swede not crashing any race so far. Very difficult for him this season. There we go, that's a proper scrub. Then we've got to get reset, which are heading into the lake. Don't want to be doing that. So we go slide the bike round that hairpin corner. Most difficult corner on the circuit, no doubt. Yeah, you get bravery points when you go through these chicanes and not lifting, but that hairpin, getting the bike turned around, especially in the dry, I imagine, will be much tougher. As this chicane, you just get it right for the first part, then you can go flat out for the rest, or for most of it. So yeah, this season so far kind of going as expected. As I said, Netherlands, this track was so going to be MXGP2. From these same kind of performances as well was Greg Hernandez when he was an MX2 rider before retiring back to Andorra. But now we've got the Macau rider, the Hillman, the Hammer, and the winner once again, I would say. Hope I'm not jinxing myself. And no doubt he's going to be taking back the championship lead, as I almost get it wrong there. I don't think the Frenchman's behind, I think it is Hurlins. Of course, you've got Boegas as well on home turf, wanting to do well on the KTM as well. beat Herlings in that first race, which was a bit of a shock. So they really have messed up the order of Milestone. I'm not sure if that's like real life. As I said, Herlings was dominant. So perhaps not exactly like real life, but it's good to see that it's messed up. The order, as I said in previous videos, you know, on MXGP2 and Valentino Rossi the game, it has been a criticism of Milestone games where the order's been kind of samey. So yeah, it's nice to have some variation. You've seen Covington in second, but never seen that in a million years on MXGP2. So yeah, everything in this game is kind of an improvement from MXGP2. It's just the aspects where they've just stayed the same, which is disappointing. Maybe online's a bit worse. As I said, it's been dreadful so far the times I've tried it. And we'll show you that footage. For this coming weekend. Just want to get a few more online races to do and have a rider selection to choose from. And just to see my first impressions of online are, you know, justified. If it actually is a bit better after this patch. I think I played online just before this patch came out, so we'll see. As we approach in the penultimate corner of the weekend, a fantastic couple of races for Kev Hillman as he takes back control of the championship from the Frenchman on the Yamaha and cross the finish line, and another exquisite scrub from the 27. As we see that Herlings was second, almost 20 seconds behind. Definitely going to up the difficulty realistic next time around this circuit. As you got Susswald in third, the Frenchman in fourth once again. Disappointing result, not getting a podium the first time this season round an event. And you got the Brit in fifth, Bogues in sixth once again. Obviously fifth last time, I think he's fifth. So down to sixth this race. Then Jonas in seventh, Petrov eighth, Covington down in ninth. Back to normal for the American, and Fernandez in 10th ahead of the TM and Yamaha of Tonkov. So the maximum 50 points, and he's definitely earned that red plate once again, Kev Hillman, ahead of Herlings and the Frenchman. And you see in the title race, he's now 7 points ahead of the Yamaha rider with the Husqvarna in third, and Herlings leading the charge of the other KTMs in fourth ahead of his teammate Bogues in fifth. So, fantastic weekend once again for Kev Hillman. Will the hammer bring it home once again in round 4? Well, we'll find out next time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you then.